At this point, the Gear 5 Luffy episode has more hype than every World Cup combined. Anime fans! People don't even watch anime and watch anime! Are hearing about this Gear 5 Luffy and wondering what it is. It's being highly regarded. Strudel Cena is going to be the greatest anime episode of all time. However, I am here to correct all of those opinions. The Gear 5 episode, which was in production for 7 months, is going to be the most overrated piece of content in the history of anime. It is going to be one of the worst episodes. Gear 5 Luffy is an overrated transformation. It is not even that good. If you actually read the manga, you would know that Gear 5 Luffy. It is terrible. We should have gotten this. This is way better. But the writer of One Piece, Oda, he made this goofy ass of brand Super Saiyan all-white transformation for Luffy after he dies. It just doesn't make any sense. It's going to be the word. It's going to be the most overrated episode of all time is what I would say. This Gear 5 Luffy episode is going to be the greatest episode in the anime Gear 5 Luffy. It is going to be basically the equivalence of this generation's and many future generations' Super Saiyan Gear 5. Luffy embodies what Luffy and One Piece is in general, and some people said, like I said earlier, well, I was just getting around, some people said that your father who's shipping this, which if I'm being honest, Dad just looks like it more edgy, like emo version of Snake Man. That makes no sense at all, but Oda was cooking something dog scrumptious. Because he was cooking good with your father. Luffy not only does him, it embodies entirely what Luffy's character is. He's really laughing at the opponents making everything else rubber looking badass while he's doing it. I mean, you see how cold his wanted poster is. The man is worth $3 billion, which I don't even know how. Oh, and kid, are even close to this man. That is one thing I hit by One Piece, is like the power scaling Luffy, which is defeated of warlords. Yonkos, everybody. He's even trained really hard. He was in a prison training. He was gaining his power, and suddenly in the just, for the plot lore, kid are just there. Some all gain stronger without doing anything, especially lore. That's what I hate, man! But it's what a lore and Kid are no match for Louis. So I guess isn't remake that much of a difference, but so much work is going to this episode. Are you 1070? 1 and 1070. 1070? 270. 2! They are cooking! I bet the people that make the score like the music, that background, they are playing in some heat. For this, I imagine it's just Gear 5 Luffy. He's changing and imagine Luffy dies, which is what happens, and he comes back to live in Gear 5 Luffy. But then all you hear is this. All you hear is maybe he goes like to a back screen or something, but I hear, oh, that's a real reference. But you get what I'm saying. The drums of liberation. Hey man, this episode's gonna cook. However, there is one thing that I will not agree with everybody on. Everybody on? People say that the smearing okay, I'll show you an example right here. People say that the smearing animation is the best in One Piece, which I highly disagree with. I love it, and I think it looks the best. It flows the best, and it's overall just the highest quality. Man, it has like the big bolded lines across them. I think that just looks so beautiful, man. It also makes them pop more. A really big example of this is when Lucy has the virus on him. This is what I'm talking about. You see those big bolded lines are across them. I don't know that means it's hand-drawn or something, but they need to keep that cuz that looks amazing. Cuz. This is smearing, and sometimes it's good. I feel like sometimes it's terrible, and it could be more of a fumble. And I just think the overall embodies like boldness. He's like in your face just laughing. It's crazy. I should just one more thing that disagree about this episode is I hate how everybody is now starting to watch One Piece, only to see Juan or Gear 5 Lucy. I can't! I named the amount of people like I see in comments, internet in general, or like, okay, I got 200 episodes to go to get to 1,000. Oh, I got 50 episodes to go to get to 980 or Yamato appears for the first time. Like, first of all, why do you know that? Second of all, why do you care about your 5 and Wana that much? Like, if you go to, like, Zorodot to Crunchyroll, anywhere you watch anime, you'll see the comics just filled with people like this. They're just like, they only care about 1 on your 5 loof. They'll be like day 30, 7 episode 938. 137 more episodes to go with Year 5. Luffy, check mark luck. Come on, man. Just enjoy for what it is. So other than that, this episode's gonna bang best episode of all time. And I think people are not gonna raise that. No, Piece is the greatest piece of fiction, not just in anime, but just in general. We want piece of work that is as great. The story building, the emotions, the characters, the side characters, the main character greatest. The greatest main character of all time. One of the best power systems of all time. Some of the best visuals. Fights, and man, there's just nothing wrong with... And when people say the pacing is terrible, I'm at episode 981. I've been watching One Piece for a round. I think it started last year, December. So I've basically been watching this for 7 months, and it's taken me that much time to get in 981. I feel like people say that pacing's bad, or just goes by slow, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, like I said earlier, that they're just focused on one thing. If you're just focused on getting to Gear 5, Luffy and Wano, everything else before that is gonna feel like it's taken forever. If you don't just take it one step at a time, you're just like, oh, I can't get away to 10. I can't get away to 10, and you got in this lobby. Obviously, it's gonna be like forever. And 2 is trying to get the story building. One of the biggest criticisms I've seen of 10 is the pacing. But just think about it logically. You have the 9 Straw Hats each doing a different mission, while you also have Law Pepper and his crew. You have Kid, you have the prison, you have a bunch of different things going on. Obviously, it's gonna take a long time to flesh all of that out. People over-criticize the little things, when it's just trying to build an overall. Like if it just went from boom, 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 you just kept on so much. You need to get the detail. All the details in which is what makes it a good story. And people who just want to see, huge animated fights. Oh, they want to see Luffy Kaido, and I'm just like, come on, man. Come on, man. Enjoy the good things. Enjoy the peak things. Because when Luffy and Nami are confirmed, that's when I know it's just the greatest piece of anything. It's just the greatest thing ever. But Luffy and Nami, that's another story for another day. Oh, they better cook that into it. You don't cook that in.